Well, guys, I just found out my wife is a cheater. The same woman that I trusted for many, many years who told me that she would never do something like this to me. Well, I just found out she was cheating on me. And it's somebody from her workplace, of course, and it's the guy who she told me not to worry about. He calls himself a wine connoisseur just because he has like a bunch of wine bottles in his apartment. And he is her boss at a pretty upscale restaurant, but really it's just upscale because of their wine selection. Anyways, I found out about it, but I didn't tell a soul. I didn't tell her, I didn't tell him, and I read their conversation and he is basically saying, let's keep doing this. And her plan is to leave me after I pay off the rest of her lease. I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm gonna go absolutely nuclear. And you're going to see my plan step by step. Yeah, it's true. I destroyed my ex-girlfriend's entire life in 47 minutes flat. Last Tuesday, I posted her cheating messages to her Instagram story with 1,844 followers, sent screenshots to her boss, her mom, and the other guy's baby mama. I burned every bridge that she had while sitting in my Honda Civic, the same one she said is busted, in a Walmart parking lot eating chicken nuggets with no sauce. I've gone crazy. The thing is, I would do it again, maybe worse. My name is Grant. I'm 27 years of age, I'm a network administrator, and I'm the guy who helps elderly neighbors when their Wi-Fi and just volunteers at the animal shelter on weekends. I'm him. Not exactly revenge material type guy, but hey, finding out my girlfriend Bree, or Brianna, was not just cheating, but calling me a doormat and pathetic while planning to use me for rent money before dumping me. Well, that flipped a switch I did not even know existed. 2 years together, I was paying 70% of our rent because she was building her savings. After starting at this upscale restaurant called Saffron 8 months back, better money than retail, she said. Great team, especially her mentor Trevor, the 31-year-old manager teaching her about wine pairings and high-end service. Well, I was genuinely happy. I was, for her. Supported her and even helped her get the job through a connection that I had. The first red flag I ignored was she started working a lot of inventory nights and special events that required her to stay late. Started dressing different for work, not like inappropriate, just more effort. I noticed new perfume. Getting her nails done weekly, when before she would complain about the cost. Said the tips were just that good now. The first discovery happened last Monday. Bree left her phone unlocked while showering, and a text came through. It popped up Trevor work, with 3 devil emojis and something about can't stop thinking about what you said during the last shift. I couldn't read the rest of it because that was just the preview, and I knew I should not have let it get to me, but I looked. I did. Weeks of messages and all sorts of comments that you can imagine about her work outfits, him describing what he wanted to do to her in the walk-in freezer, her sending photos asking if her outfit was, quote, too much, plans to meet after each other's shift. She would tell me that we were having inventory nights. Inside jokes about customers that turned, him complaining about his baby mama drama. And then the gut punch, her saying that she was stuck with me, for now, but working on an exit strategy. I confront her immediately, and she cried, said it was just restaurant culture getting out of hand, never physical. She blocked him right then and there. Made a whole show of blocking him in front of me, deleted the messages, said that we would work through it. I wanted to believe her. I was such an idiot. Less than 24 hours later, I'm working from home while she's at an opening shift. Something felt off. Her location showed her at work, but my gut was screaming. She left her iPad at home, still logged into iMessage. The messages between her and Trevor from that morning made me physically ill. They were laughing about my reaction to catching them. She called me a doormat, said I was so predictable and pathetic, and mentioned she needed me for rent this month, but would dump me after I helped her mom move this weekend. He called her terrible and says he loves it. Then they made plans to meet in the storage room in 5 minutes. I sat there in the home office I set up for both of us, staring at a framed photo from her birthday trip that I surprised her with, reading these messages calling me pathetic, while she was actively at work planning to do this with her manager? The same manager whose salary was probably partially funded by the restaurant connection I helped her get. I did not confront her at this time. Instead, I screenshot everything, then realized her Instagram was still logged in on my laptop from when she had me post something while driving. Her Snapchat too. I had her mom Natalie's number from coordinating the move, and I knew the restaurant's entire hierarchy from her stories that Spencer, the owner, Autumn, the GM, even some of the other servers like her best friend Jordan. Then I looked up Trevor. Public profile everywhere, photos with a kid, an ex-girlfriend named Sierra, tagged in old photos from 2 years ago. Some investigator revealed Sierra lived locally, had full custody, and posted constantly about co-parenting struggles and healing from narcissistic abuse. Interesting. I spent Monday night creating a folder. Screenshots organized by recipient, draft messages written professionally, and factually no emotion. See, I'm a network admin. I understand information architecture and system vulnerabilities. This was just another network to map and exploit. Tuesday, 2 p.m. Brianna's at work and I drove to the Walmart because our apartment felt contaminated by her presence. I bought a 20-piece McNugget and sat in my car with my laptop, and then I executed my plan. First, I posted every screenshot to her Instagram story. The messages, of course, the really juicy ones. The mockery calling me a doormat, the admission that she was using me for rent, and the plans to do what in the storage room? Everything. Each one would stay for 24 hours, the entire story. Her follower count included coworkers, family, high school friends, grandmother, everyone. Then I did the same on her Snapchat story for the different friend group there. Next, I emailed Spencer and old Autumn with the subject line, inappropriate workplace conduct documentation. I attached all the juice, highlighting the timestamp showing they were both on shift and the harassment liabilities, could you imagine? The health code violations and planning activities in the food storage area. Professional, factual, and devastating to her career. Then I messaged Natalie, her mom, with screenshots and a simple message about what her daughter was doing while I was helping with the move. No anger, just straight Snapple facts. I texted Trevor directly, letting him know everyone at his job and her family now knew, and asked if Sierra knew that he was doing this again since the timeline was pretty clear in the message. Finally, I found Sierra through social media and sent her everything with a message saying I thought she deserved to know as a fellow betrayed partner, especially since the message referenced her and their son. Then I blocked Brianna on everything and drove home. The explosion was immediate. By 3:40, Brianna was calling from the restaurant phone. By 4 p.m., her coworkers were texting me random numbers. Jordan, her best friend, sent a novel text about how Brianna was sobbing in the bathroom while Spencer was there, and Trevor got called into the office and everyone had seen everything in the break room. Natalie called 17 times, but obviously, I didn't answer. Brianna got through from another number screaming about how her grandmother follows her Instagram. How her coworkers were all watching the stories and how Trevor's ex was, quote, going crazy and threatening custody, challenging, how I would ruin her life, and I texted back just once telling her the doormat joke wasn't so funny anymore, is it? And to lose my number. Trevor texted me saying I was being crazy and that I ruined his relationship from his son over a text, since they have not even hooked up yet. I reminded him he ruined his own family, and I'm the one that simply documented it. Spencer replied to my email with corporate speak about how situations occurring outside restaurant property were not their jurisdiction, but they would investigate on-premise behavior. Translation: we're not firing anyone, but this will be awkward as hell. The Instagram story view, it hit 1,400 views over 24 hours. Someone even made a TikTok about it, and the screenshot got screenshotted and shared into group chats I'll never even see. Bree tried damage control by posting about me being abusive and controlling, and the message about being out of context, but the timestamps and her own words calling me pathetic while planning to use me for rent money speaks for itself. Jordan kept me updated on the restaurant drama. Trevor's baby mama, Sierra, showed up during dinner service screaming, and the entire staff was just choosing sides. Somebody printed the screenshots and posted them in the break room before Autumn found them, and the hostesses were Team Grant. Servers were refusing to work Trevor's shifts. Sierra messaged me directly with a bombshell. See, this wasn't Trevor's first go. When their son was 6 months old, he was messing with a hostess at the same restaurant. She warned him if it happened again, she would file for supervised visitation only. She also revealed Brianna had met her at a restaurant event and looked her in the eye, knowing she was messing with her son's father. Trevor had a pattern of targeting new female employees. Autumn knew but couldn't prove it, and Spencer didn't care as long as profits were good. And there had been 3 other affairs in 2 years, and Brianna was not special, just the latest. See, Natalie, which was Brianna's mother, texted, apologizing and saying that she raised her better and that I've been nothing but good to them. Brianna's dad, who I barely knew, somehow got my number and said I was a better man than him because he would have done worse. The restaurant fallout continued for weeks. Trevor got demoted from the manager to server, and Brianna's shifts got cut in half. They were scheduled opposite times just to avoid drama. Other employees started confessing their own workplace affairs, and Spencer threatened to fire everybody if the drama continued. The entire dynamic was so toxic. Brianna lost 400 Instagram followers and multiple friends cut her off for the rent exploitation, and her college group chat removed her. The gym became awkward and she had to find a new coffee shop because the barista had seen everything. Week 2. She showed up at my apartment with the full cheater playbook, tears, promises, therapy offers, claiming Trevor manipulated her. I asked which part was the mistake, calling me pathetic and laughing about me with him or using me for rent, and she could not answer. Week 3. Trevor's custody situation exploded. Sierra filed for supervised visitation only, using the screenshots as evidence of poor judgment around minor children. Court dates started piling up. Week 4, Brianna quit Saffron, claiming that she found a better opportunity, but reality, she just couldn't handle everybody new. Trevor's reputation was so destroyed that the female servers would not respect him at all, and the male servers thought that he was trash. Autumn watched him like a hawk. By month 2, Trevor quit as well and moved to another city for a fresh start. Yeah, that's what he calls it. His Instagram bio went from restaurant manager and wine enthusiast to, just his name. Sierra got a full custody with supervised visitation only. Brianna works at an Applebee's now, less money, no Trevor, no one paying 70% of her rent, and her Instagram is private. Her bio says growth mindset, like that means something. People keep asking if I regret going nuclear. Here's the truth. I regret the collateral damage. Natalie did not deserve that shock, Sierra's kids didn't deserve a broken home, and the restaurant workers did not deserve their workplace becoming toxic. But Bree and Trevor, no regrets at all, absolutely zero. They made their choices thinking I was too much of a doormat to do anything about it, and they were wrong. The thing about calling someone pathetic while they're helping your mother move, while they're paying your rent, while they're fixing your car and building your future, the level of cruelty deserves consequences. Not private consequences, oh no, public ones. The kind that follow you to your next job when people actually Google your name. Would I do it again? No, because I'll never date someone again, somebody who can make me feel that level of rage. I'll never again ignore the red flags, and I will never ever again pay 70% of rent for someone who sees me as a temporary ATM. But if I had to do it over knowing what I know, every message would still get sent, and maybe I would skip the Instagram story just for her grandmother's sake. Actually, no. Her grandmother needed to know who she raised too. I'm in therapy, guys. Not because I feel guilty, but because I need to understand why I accepted being treated like that for so long. Why it took being called a doormat to realize I was being walked on. Why I was paying 70% of rent to someone who was actively planning to leave me high and dry. So, last I heard about Jordan, Brianna's dating some new server from Applebee's. Already posted about real love and new beginnings, and I hope he Googles her. I hope he finds this, and I hope he knows that when she starts working late and guarding her phone, it's not paranoia, it's a pattern. Yeah, but mostly I just hope that she learned that doormats can be pulled out from under you, and when they are, sometimes you don't just fall, sometimes you get exposed to everybody watching. Sometimes your grandmother sees what kind of person you really are, and sometimes your mom calls your ex to apologize for you. Yeah, that's right. The nuclear option is not always for everyone, but when someone starts to call you pathetic while actively using you, when they're laughing about your pain with the person they're cheating with, well, when they look at your child's mother in the eye knowing they've destroyed a family, maybe they deserve the nuclear option, and maybe they deserve that too. I regret nothing except not doing it sooner. Trevor and Bree thought I was weak. Turns out I was just patient. There's a difference. They know that now. Edit. To everybody saying I went too far, she was using me for rent money while calling me pathetic to the man she was cheating with. Where exactly is the line if not there? Edit 2. Brianna found this post, made her own post claiming I'm leaving out how controlling I was. The comments are not going how she hopes, and she admitted in her own post that the screenshots were real. Sometimes the truth is its own revenge. Edit 3. Sierra just DM'd me. Trevor's supervised visitation got approved only for 4 hours a week. She wanted to thank me again, said her lawyers called the screenshots a gift from God. Well, I'm glad something good came out of this disaster.
Guys, today's story was absolutely nuclear. Like OP said, you don't always have to go for the nuclear option. There's better ways sometimes. But sometimes the people deserve it. Let's read 2 comments. The first one is against OP. This person doesn't seem to agree with OP at all. It says, Grant, you're a vindictive psychopath. That's pretty harsh words. Who destroyed multiple lives over hurt feelings, and you're bragging about it like you're some kind of hero. You didn't just punish Bree, you traumatized her elderly grandma, destroyed an entire workplace environment where innocent servers now just think it's toxic. And most disgustingly, you deliberately sabotaged the father's relationship with his child, who did nothing wrong. A kid lost regular access to his father because you wanted revenge on someone who wasn't even your main target. That's sociopathic behavior, and you claim she was, quote, using you for rent or lease or whatever, but you were together for, count it, 2 years. That's called a relationship with shared expenses, not exploitation. Hello, wake up. Welcome to the real world. You went nuclear over words said in private that you only saw because you violated her privacy 2 times, once again. Then distributed all sorts of pictures, adjacent content to nearly 2,000 people, including her family members. You are not a hero. You're lucky you're not in prison. You're an abuser who weaponized social media to destroy someone who wanted to leave you. And you need serious psychiatric help. Maybe psychiatric hold. Guys, it seems like OP is not liked by this person. Let me know if you agree with any of the parts from that comment. You don't have to agree with the entire comment, but maybe you agree with little small parts of it. Now I have one more comment that is supporting OP. It says, hey, the people defending Bree clearly have been humiliated by someone they loved and supported. She wasn't just cheating, she was laughing about him being a doormat while actively planning to use him for rent money before dumping him. Hello? She literally said that, well, I'll quote, he's so predictable and pathetic, while Grant was paying 70% of the rent and about to help her mother move. That's not just cheating, that's psychological torture and financial abuse. Trevor was a manager, harassing an employee he supervised, and don't you guys remember? He did it multiple times. He was planning to have fun in the food storage area, and destroying another family after already cheating with previous employees is absurd. He deserved to lose custody for showing such poor judgment. Come on, Grant did not create these consequences, he just exposed the truth. that Bree and Trevor created through their own cruel, calculated actions. The grandmother deserved to know who her granddaughter really was. The restaurant deserved to know what liability they had under their roof. And Sierra deserved to know her co-parent was repeating destructive patterns. Sometimes nuclear revenge is exactly what people need to finally face consequences that are long overdue. Grant's a hero for exposing these parasites, and Brianna serving tables at Applebee's. It's poetic justice, even though there's nothing against Applebee's. I actually love their sampler platter. Guys, I love their sampler platter too. Let me know what you think about this story in the comment section down below. Do you agree more with comment number 1 or comment number 2? Drop it down below in our comment section. Once again, if you are new to the channel, welcome. We drop a story every single day. It might be about cheating, inheritance drama, mother-in-law problems, work drama. I mean, the list goes on and on. It might even be a saga with multiple updates. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, hit the hype button. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and remember one thing. It's cool to be kind. Peace.